Hello. So today, y'all, this is quite exciting. I don't know about you, but I'm quite excited for it. We are like less than a month away from the release of Capturing the Devil. It's the fourth installment of Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I'm so excited to read it, like super excited, and like oh my gosh, guys. So it takes place during the Chicago World Fair, which, if you don't know about that, I'm going to give some history on it because it's quite interesting. I was not surprised when I found out where this was going to take place, especially at the end of the second book when they were going to America. I figured, like, okay, if she does not write about the Chicago World Fair, I don't know what this series is. Like, I was super pumped when I found out it was, because so I first learned about the Chicago World Fair by watching Timeless. Now, if you haven't seen that show, you need to go watch it. Like, it is the best show ever. It's very underappreciated. It's been canceled. I'm so upset about it, but you need to go watch it because that's actually where I first heard about this, and then I started doing research in it. I was like, wow, this is kind of really interesting. So this video is basically predictions I have, and also just give like a little like history about like what the setting is. So as I said before, I was not surprised when I found out it was taking place at the Chicago World Fair, which actually back then it was known as the Columbian Exposition after Columbus. So that's an interesting fact. I was not surprised, and it was actually a prediction of mine that this book would take place here because it is very interesting, the whole history behind it and the psychologicalness of it. So obviously this book series involves like a lot of like solving cases and murder cases and like all that fun stuff. But what's interesting, what has been dubbed as the Murder Hotel by H.H. Holmes, was actually considered to be one of the first serial killers of America. So that was also very interesting. And then, as I said, when I knew they were starting to come over to America, I'm like, okay, this has to take place. So, fun fact about H.H. Holmes. His actual name was not that. He took the name Holmes after Sherlock Holmes, which I find very interesting because Sherlock Holmes stopped crimes and he created crimes. During the Chicago World Fair, Houdini was actually starting to get momentum. It was actually 1883 or 1893. One of the days is actually some of his earlier acts, and he actually got a start from the Chicago World Fair. He performed alongside Bertheo, like very first acts, and that's why I was very confused when he appeared in Escaping Houdini. It kind of threw off my prediction a little that this is where the series was going. So I would not be surprised if Houdini's in these books. It actually wouldn't make sense if he wasn't, I guess, because like I said, he was there and they already know him. So Houdini's gonna be in there somehow. I think we'll see the Ringleader again. So if you have not watched my Escape from Houdini video, you should go watch that because I say right at that video, like, I don't know how to pronounce half these names, so I give them weird names like Ringleader or Mascot. So if you are confused at all who I'm referencing, just go watch that video and you'll understand. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure the Ringleader / Mascot is going to be back. His story is very open-ended at the end of Escaping Houdini. So I have a feeling he's going to be back, but I just don't know how he's going to play into this somehow. Like, I think he might die. I don't know. My prediction is everyone dies. But going off the predictions of who is going to die, it's a YA series, so you know someone's going to die. It's the last book. Someone is going to die. First prediction is going to be the uncle. The uncle is going to die. Like, I can almost state it right now. He's going to die. And why? Because it's a YA book, and it's not a YA book if not all the parental figures are somehow dead. Okay? So, he's going to die. We know it's going to happen. It's just how and when it's going to happen. We do not know yet. I first predicted that Audrey Rose or Thomas is going to die, but then I was like, why? But it takes place from her perspective. I don't think Audrey Rose could die, but then I don't know. Maybe we'll have like a Divergent type thing happen, and it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Thomas, I think, is going to die. Like, it is just a gut feeling prediction I have. Like, I think he's going to die. I don't know how, but I think so. The only way I see it, like, I think he's either going to die or he's going to come close to death. So I feel like the only way he's going to live is if it's going to be like a thing where we think he's dead, and then like in the last few chapters it revealed, hey, he actually did not die. He got away, and here's the story of how he got away. Like, that is my prediction, but I literally think Thomas is going to die. Like, but then again, I don't see the author writing that. Because like I said, I know in our brains we all think it's going to be this tragic ending. And I'm like this with every book. I always think the main guy character is going to die eventually. I'm like, the author's going to crush us and he's going to die. But I think the author strikes as someone who still likes a happy ending, and I'm someone who still likes a happy ending, so hopefully they end up together. And if they do, is there gonna be a wedding scene? Like, there better be, like, in maybe, like, an epilogue or something, a wedding scene. Like, I want to see this happen. Like, I've been rooting for this since stalking Jack the Ripper. Like, it is going to happen. Why do I keep doing this? So if Thomas doesn't die, the mask guy is gonna die. Like, first I thought, well, maybe Thomas is gonna die, and then she ends up with mask guy. But she and Thomas have been through so much, I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think mask guy's gonna die. I think it's gonna, like, it's not gonna be like he was just a victim. No, I think he's gonna, like, sacrifice his life or something for them. Like, I think that's gonna happen. Like, I don't think this book is gonna come back by saying, wow, that was such a cheerful ending, yay! No, it's gonna be like, after how I finished Escaping Houdini. When I finished Escaping Houdini, I was at work, and I literally finished it and just stared. Like, I mean, I just stared. And, like,
what do I do with my life today? Were there other things? What do I do?
It was just, it took me a while. And I'm kind of scared this last book is going to put me in book slump, because I literally just came out of a 3-year book slump. I mean, literally, this book slump had lasted for 3 years. And then I feel like this book is going to be back into it. This is one thing that's interesting about the series and what I really like, is that there's a plot within a plot. Like, normally in most books you read, there's always a plot in the first book, but then leads to a bigger plot throughout the whole series. But this was like, there were plots within plot. Like, you had your main murder mystery case, but through that the author was also working in a bigger plot, and I think that's really cool how she did that. These books honestly could go longer, and so I'm kind of sad they're only 4, but at the same time, like, you don't want a plot that just keeps going and going, because after a while that doesn't get tiring, and so it's actually good to have fewer than more, even though I am gonna miss this series so much. Like, I love historical fiction, and there is not enough historical fiction out there. And I like mysteries too, and there's just not enough mysteries. And then you combine historical fiction and mysteries, and it's like, my dream series has happened. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how this series plays out. Like, I have some predictions, not much. I know this was kind of very short video. It's more about who I think is going to die. But it's like, I feel like it's one of those series that I can't really predict. Like, even if you know the saying, like, it's going to be interesting to see how the author works in the whole, like, saying with the murder hotel and stuff. Because, like, there were, like, I think I read once, like, there was, like, trap doors or, like, stairwells that lead nowhere. Like, it's a very interesting psychological thing. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they stumble upon that and how the author's going to work that. So I am very interested in that. Like, I predict, like, because of, like, kind of what I know about it, like, the characters are probably going to get separated. Like, I'm envisioning, like, this huge final scene chapter where the characters are separated and they're just running for their lives. Like, that is what I'm picturing, and that's how Thomas is going to die. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, that's one thing I really like about this author book. She's not predictable. Like, even when I was reading Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula and even Escaping Houdini, like, I had names and, like, I was right on most of my predictions, but it was never, like, to the point where, like, yes, this is 100% this person. It was always like, okay, I think these are 2 or 3 people who could be the suspect. And normally I was right within that, but I could never narrow it down to just one person. And I think that's amazing talent to have, is when you can write for your audience and not guess it, because most times in books I'm always able to guess who the bad guy is. Like, you can always just guess. It's always the person you least likely expect, or that kind of is a little sketchy. And so I really enjoyed that about these books. Like, I recommend these books to anyone and everyone. Yeah, I love the series, and I'm so sad it's ending, but I'm very interested how this is gonna play out, because then in Escaping Houdini, like, Thomas and Audrey sounds like they are getting separated. I could have misread that, but first it kind of sounded like they were being separated, so I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to happen. Like, I'm hoping it's not going to be one of the things through half the book they're separated, because I hate it when authors do that. So I'm hoping they're together, and I'm hoping it's all happy, and, like, I'm going to have tears. Well, I'm not going to have tears of joy. No matter what, someone's going to die, and it's going to be the uncle. We know it's going to be the uncle, because, like I said, YA and parental figures just do not go well. I don't know how this book is going to happen. Those are just a few predictions, very short video, me rambling. Thank you for watching. Write what you think is going to happen. What do you hope is going to happen? I just hope Audrey Rose and Thomas run off to the sunset together and live happily ever after, maybe opening up their own forensic thing. That's what I'm hoping for, but We don't know. I don't know. But it'll be interesting. Thank you for watching. Bye!